Hi everyone, Golden Gay Time here with Rhyme Signatures, the nerdiest music review this side of being a toffee and vanilla ice cream dipped in compound chocolate and wrapped in vanilla biscuit like crumbs on a wooden paddle pop stick. And today we're going to be doing a review of the latest Toehider EPs from his 12 in 12 project.
Neighbors, everybody needs good neighbors. Just a friendly wave each morning.
Okay, there's going to be spoilers here, and let's get something straight first. This is going to be a kind of a weirdly fragmented sort of review, as this is technically a project still in progress, and this is technically only 1/4 of the finished product. Confused? Me too. Australian musical genius Michael Mills, better known as Toehider, released one of the best albums of 2022 with I Have Little to No Memory of These Memories. And I assumed after belting out a 40+ minute long song that he would be taking some much needed and well-deserved rest. But apparently you can't slow down when the inspiration train is rolling at 200 miles an hour. Mills is currently running a campaign on their Patreon, which I will provide a link to below, where they will be producing 12 EPs over the course of 12 months. And we currently have the first 3 of these slices available to supporting Patreons. So I figured now is as good a time as any to talk about what we actually have available to us, as well as acting as a pseudo-advertisement to convince as many of you as possible watching this to subscribe to this incredibly ambitious project. But Mr. Rhyme Signatures, 12 EPs in 12 months? Surely this is madness, folly, insanity. And if this was being undertaken by anyone other than Mills, I'd probably agree with you. But this is the second time that Mills has done this. So, with his proven track record and his muse being a light like the burning sun above us, there is surely no better time to get involved and support this incredible musician. So, what have we got with these first 3 of these EPs? We have Quit Forever, Snapshots from Beacon Town Spring Dance 1985, and The 4 Castles of Stelcorin. And as you would expect from Toehider, each of these is radically different from the last, and each manages to explore a vast landscape of musical ideas, themes, and ideas. And given that the net length of these first 3 EPs comes to a neat and tidy 54-ish minutes or so, or in other words, a full-bodied album length, it felt as good a time as any to get some initial thoughts out. So let's look at Quit Forever first, as this was the debut EP bequeathed unto us by Mills. This one very much feels like the proggiest of the 3, with the first track, Uncle Aqua, unleashing a torrent of powerful and aggressive riffing right from the starting gun. It's immediate and a great demonstration of Mills' ability as a guitarist, showcasing a good variety of disciplines and styles. The primary driving force on this track is definitely the guitars, but not content with just showing off his axe work, Mills also demonstrates just how good he is behind the skins, with some savage drumming undercutting the rest of the music. It is a really great opener and a fantastic showcase for the project as a whole. Things really don't slow down though, as second track of Every Day I Wake Up in the Morning and I Fail, Fail, Fail serves as a great springboard just to remind you of how varied Mills' vocals are, with the deep, bassy and death-growly delivery of the fail, fail, fail of the song's title coming in from the left-hand side to completely blindside you from the initially cheerful-sounding music. It's a great, introspective and self-critical song that is honestly all too easy to relate to lyrically. Third track, Nobody Even Really Liked It in There But Me, and fourth, Quit Forever, round off the EP nicely, each acting as a more vocally driven offering with a more stripped down and personal vibe to each of them, allowing instrumentation that gives the song a chance to breathe in between vocal passages. When things kick in though, they really kick in, but these both feel more narratively driven than the previous tracks, and I get big vibes from Mills' first LP as Toehider on Nobody Even Really Liked It in There But Me. The orchestration arrangements on both of these are a really nice touch, and Mills' piano work on Quit Forever does at times give me flashbacks to some of the earlier works by the Deer Hunter. This is a genuinely brilliant EP by itself, and it feels like the most experimental and varied of the initial trio, but it's not quite my favourite, as that accolade most assuredly goes to EP number 2. Snapshots from Beacon Town Spring Dance 1985 is pure, unfiltered and joyous 80s hair metal G's, and it is wonderful. Mills has taken the aesthetic, mood and attitude of the most pastel of all decades and spun it into a quartet of grin-inducing turn-up-the-volume, sing into a hairbrush microphone bangers. Pack It Up fires things off nicely with some immediate diamond-sounding keyboards and big booming 80s drum beats. Mills sounds confident and powerful as we segue into a montage-worthy chorus for our fictional American high school hero as they work past their problems in a series of events of them failing repeatedly but never giving up until the bitter end. It's a classic formula and feels like a slice out of time in just how well it manages to hero worship the era without ever feeling like it's pandering. The sax solo is glorious, the energy is infectious, and the sheer determination in Mills' vocals makes it impossible to not want to sing along. Now, second song, Animal in Your Eyes, is my favourite song across all 3 EPs, and might very well be one of my favourite Toehider songs overall. It is such an anthem. It's the kind of music you drive down a highway to at 100 miles an hour with the top down and the sun setting in the distance. It is pure Miami Vice. It's neon, it's vodka martinis, it's gold chains and briefcases full of money. It's soaring off a cliff with the wings of a burning eagle carrying you into battle. I have definitely pissed off my neighbours already by singing along to this one in my incredibly futile efforts to match Mills' absolutely siren-like vocals, but I don't give a damn, as I'm going to be doing this for months. The instrumental break is fantastic and only makes the segue back into the final chorus all the more glorious. I mean, quite frankly, this song is worth the Patreon monthly fee alone, and is probably going to end up being my most played song of the year, so, you know, it's great. I love it. The remaining tracks are still fantastic, but I almost feel sorry for them following up from the pure Conan the Barbarian energy of Animal in Your Eyes. Third track, you'd think that I'd be used to it by now, has a little bit of that sunglasses at night vibe with some kind of Duran Duran sounding guitars and spacey atmospheric keyboards and more introspective and personal vocals. It's a big booming track when the chorus does kick in though, feeling like the ending theme of an 80s sports movie with the protagonist finally conquering their demons in a bittersweet finale. Final track, Keep Going For Me, is easily my second favourite song across this string of EPs, with Mills urging you to not give up, that you are important and you are loved. It's hard not to feel moved by this track, and the sentiment felt from the impassioned vocal delivery is spine-chilling. It's a slower track, more deliberate and less concerned with flashy instrumentation than it is about conveying a message of love and compassion for whoever's listening. It's a beautiful, heartfelt song wrapped up in the embrace of every 1980s ballad that ever made you feel something. And there's also an amazing breakdown at the end littered with video game sounds, you know, which kind of makes me groove pretty hard as well. The third and so far final EP is the Four Castles of Stelcorin, and while I would easily call this my least favourite of the 3, that's not to say that this is poorer in quality, just that the music within isn't quite as much my tempo as the previous 2. This is the folksy, medieval, more acoustic and lyrically driven of the EPs, and I have to raise my hat to Mills for managing to keep everything as varied as he has done so far. I think that while I didn't vibe as hard with this EP musically as the others, the lyrics are probably my favourite across them, being less predictable as they're more focused on crafting a narrative that you can imagine a minstrel in a feudal tavern spinning tall tales of for gold coins. And honestly, that's really the whole vibe of this EP. It sounds like Mills is playing the part of a bard character in a D&D campaign, and he just rolls a natural 20 on his performance check to impress the local tavern folk as the party looks to earn some money in their downtime. Philly Folly Castle is a solid opener with some very interesting vocal melodies and patterns, and some lyrics that got more than a few smirks out of me. Bloomy Castle is a nice down-tempo song that gives me kind of vibes of Clannad at times and a Shakespearean soliloquy. Wait, no, actually no. In fact, scrap that. It actually makes me think of that one guy, you know, in Monty Python's Holy Grail, the one stuck up in the tower who wants to really sing but never gets the chance to. But, you know, it actually turns out he's incredibly good at singing. It's a song to listen to around a campfire while drinking mead and reminiscing about the toils of the day. Third track, now watch me butcher the name, Castle Notches... Castle... something. Castle Who's It? Castle... look it up. Is my favourite from the EP by a mile. The opening guitars are intricate, complex and attention-grabbing, the intensity of the vocal delivery is demanding, and the narrative is compelling as anything. This definitely feels like the song the bard would deliver to an audience once he has their attention. The wind instrumentation is fantastic, and honestly the whole suite of medieval-style compositions is layered and a rewarding showcase of just how talented Mills is. Every instrument is his, and to have this level of talent across this many instruments really is quite rare. Final track, Stick Low Castle, thank God that was easier to pronounce, is a gentle singer-songwriter style closeout with instrumentation reminding me of a lazy Parisian day in some ways, and I don't know, there's something about this song that just gives me the image of Mills sitting on the banks of the Seine with a cheese board and a glass of wine by his side. I don't know, maybe that's just me. It's brief, it's satisfying, and it's a very pleasant way to close off this first hurrah of EPs. What else can I say at this point about the first 3 EPs of Toehider's 12 in 12 2023 project? Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect from this, given the sheer creative scale that Mills gave us last year with I Have Little to No Memory of These Memories. I was convinced that we might have a slew of some average or reasonable tracks with a couple of bangers to be found within. What I was not expecting was for virtually every song on this initial run to be ones that I would want to see on a proper physical release later down the line, and we're still getting 9 more EPs before this is all wrapped up. It goes without saying that I think you should immediately stop what you're doing and subscribe to Toehider's Patreon right now. Even if this was all we got and this 3 EP run was to be released as his next studio album, you'd be looking at something easily the equal of any of his main LPs, and in some places better than anything else that's come before it. Give this man your $1. This kind of dedication, talent and commitment to creating this kind of pure musical happiness needs to be recognised and rewarded. I cannot wait to see what the next 3 EPs have in store for us. This is all of course my opinion, as you know guys, so if you are already subbed to Toehider's Patreon, please tell me what you thought of these EPs in the comments down below. If there's anything else coming out this year you think I should check out, I think that's within my wheelhouse, please do let me know about it. I'd love to give it a listen, always looking for new music to have out. If you did like this video, please do share it around with anyone else who you would think would enjoy it, and please do consider subscribing to the channel for some more content. Until next time guys, keep your rhyme signatures extremely, extremely odd.